So hello everyone, and welcome back to Soccer Unboxing. So in today's video, I'm just glasses, sweater, trying to get a little bit cozy, because I'll be going over some recent figures that were announced for Mega Hobby Expo 2024. I'm very excited for some of these, not a lot on my list. Again, I just talk about my favorites, but definitely some that I'm quite eager to see be made into like a prototype or to be colored in the future. So yes, everyone, let us just grab our tea, whatever flavor you can get, or coffee if you drink that, and without further ado, let us get started. So going into my list for this event, I have a total of 15 items to go through. So yes, I'll link this list in the description below, along with Ruberry's page where they have every figure that was announced at this event. And really only 3 of these figures are actually painted. The rest are either illustrations or unpainted prototypes. So yes, let us start at the bottom, already starting off with an amazing looking illustration. Alter is making more Toho figures based off of illustrations by different artists. The first one is the Toho project Yakumo Yukari, and just the colors that are used in this illustration are amazing, especially in her dress, like that purple and that pink. It just looks so eye-catching to me. And yeah, just this whole set piece is very cool. I'm curious to see how much Alter will implement from these illustrations into figures. I know that at least the Remilia and the Flandra Scarlet figures, they pretty much have every little piece from that illustration into the figure. But these definitely look a lot more like complex in a way, so we'll see how that goes, but she is absolutely stunning. The next one we have right here is the Kirisame Marisa, illustrated by Matcha. Again, the coloring is just so gorgeous. I love the way they drew her, and the little base with the flowers, the book, and just everything about this illustration is just absolutely amazing. And yeah, so this makes me more excited for Toho figures, especially because they're being made by Alter. I haven't really, consumed a lot of Toho media. I've played a few of like the games, but I really haven't, dug deep into the fandom. But the figures, I feel like for the most part, are very beautifully done. And then after that, the next figure that I feel like is kind of meant to go with the Marisa is the Hakure Reimu, who looks like stunning. Again, very gorgeous coloring on this illustration. I really like the cherry blossoms that are on there, the little sakura mochi at the bottom, and the little yin yang symbols as well. So yes, I do have a Reimu figure pre-ordered, which is the one that's illustrated by Fuzi Choco that Furyu is making, but I do plan on canceling that because it's just quite expensive for what they're asking for. So, I'm kind of glad I'm doing so then I can, see how this one turns out in the future. So yeah, very gorgeous set of figures by Matcha. And the last one that actually does have a unpainted prototype, the Izayoi Sakuya. So yes, the unpainted prototype for her, it does have pretty much all the elements from the original illustration by I think that's how you pronounce the name. But yeah, really love the outfit, the red, the black, and the blue, and the clock as well. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how these Toho figures look painted in the future, especially considering how gorgeous those original illustrations are. Okay, backtracking a little bit, I wanted to point this one out, which is the Blue Exorcist Yuki no Hate Hen Okumura Ren Artifacts J by Kotobukiya. I mainly want to point this out because this series really doesn't have any proper scale figures. I think Nendroids is the main one, and then maybe prize figures and garage kits and resins. I don't even know if they have resins, but anything but your typical scale figure. And so far from the silhouette, I really do like the pose of him with the sword and the flames. I did read this series like a long time ago, but I just never kept up with it. And yeah, the only thing that's there that you can definitely see, though, is that support rod for his leg, considering the pose, so some people might not like that. I completely understand. But I do like the actiony pose that they're going for, you know, not just a basic sort of standing pose. After that, we have this figure that surprised me from an anime that I want to continue watching, and that is the Kitaro Tanjo Gegege no Nazo Kitaro and Kitaro's dad figure by Kotobukiya. So it's probably going to be based off this illustration right here. I'm assuming from the movie, because this is a pretty old series, but they have adapted it several times, and I watched I think it's 2018 version, which I was really enjoying. I'm a sucker for yokai anime, and yeah, I enjoy the characters, I just enjoy some of the themes, and yeah, I really also want to watch this movie. Unfortunately, it's just in Japanese only. I don't know if people are gonna, any companies are gonna stream it with English subtitles on their websites, or streaming services, I should say. But yes, I enjoy this series. I think I got 70 episodes in and I just stopped. So I want to hop back on it soon and finish the series, which I think it ends at like 120 so episodes. But yeah, it's nice to see that this series is getting more figures. Next up, we have probably the top figure for this event. Of course, it's a Fate figure, you know me. But we have the fategrandorder Senji Muramasa 1/8 scale figure for the Altera line by Alter. And needless to say, chef's kiss, he looks so stunning. So yes, Muramasa, he's not like my top favorite Fate character, but goddamn, Alter did such a fantastic job with the way that he looks. Just the sculpting on him is like chef's kiss. With his body sculpt, his outfit, the pose. I like how it looks like he's gonna do his noble phantasm. And yeah, it just... I'm actually really excited for this one. Mostly gonna pre-order him, because I do like collecting the male Fate figures. Now, I do like how Alter is, you know, taking the time to do these very cool dynamic poses, like with Muramasa, like with, of course, Oberon with this whole set piece. I know Arjuna, unfortunately, I think he's kind of just directly based off the 3rd Ascension artwork. You know, maybe a cooler dynamic pose would have looked nice. Karna, he's got a slightly different pose. And then some of the older Alter figures like the Merlin are just based off some of the, you know, the Ascension. They're just pulled from that artwork. So I'm just very happy that Alter is going the route of doing a little bit more of dynamic posing with their Fate figures. It's just more eye-catching compared to like some other manufacturers who just pull from the artwork. But yeah, super excited to see him colored. Most likely gonna pre-order him. After that, we have this one, which I'm also quite excited for. The Gekijoban Mononoke Kusuriyuri Artifacts J 1/8 Gekijoban version by Kotobukiya. So this is the medicine seller from Mononoke, who's based off the design he has in the movie, which I think is coming to Netflix, I want to say. I have been watching this series. It's very cool, very interesting art style, very visually interesting. And yeah, so this is going to be based off his design, again, in the movie. I'm leaning towards picking this up now. I was originally thinking about picking up the first version of him that's from the series. I skipped out on him, and unfortunately, you know, even with that re-release, he's still very expensive in the aftermarket. But honestly, I might like this one a little bit more. I just like the pose and what I'm seeing in it. And yeah, I'm interested to see the movie as well. So I'm curious if there's any slightly better pictures. But yeah, the little face paint looks pretty good on there. I don't know why he's in such like a very dark area. But yeah, so far the sculpt on everything looks fantastic. Definitely going to be a lot more than the original, but hey, I think he looks fantastic, so I'm excited to see him colored. Next up, we have the next in the Pokemon Artifacts J figure line, and that is the Victor and Score Bunny figure. Now, yeah, here he is, if the page would load. I like what I see. I like Score Bunny, the way that he looks. That was my starter for Sword and Shield. I just really love Score Bunny's design with the little flames too on here, and just his expression is so cute. Now, I did see people kind of complain about this figure, and it's mostly with Victor himself. Yeah, the shirt being shiny is one thing, and I agree that the eyes look a little bit weird. So it's mostly just, yeah, the figure compared to the original illustration right here. Yeah, it looks great in the illustration, but for some reason, at least in the photo that they're showing us, it looks like he's got like a pretty big forehead. Maybe that's why. It doesn't look too off, but it's definitely quite noticeable. So yeah, I do tend to pick up these Pokemon figures. They're, you know, cheaper, like close to $100, maybe slightly over. Nothing extremely pricey. And yeah, so he's getting, you know, gonna go for pre-order soon, and then also Gloria, who's getting a re-release, so I'm excited for her. But yeah, nice to see more Pokemon figures. I always like seeing those when they're painted. After that, we have the next in the Fall Slender series, which is the Fall Slender Hexe by Quezq. So yeah, not by Wing, not by Kadokawa, but by Quezq now. They're just throwing all these girls at different manufacturers. So yes, I actually really like what I see with her. I like the pose on this one. The weapon is pretty interesting. It's like a, I don't know if it's like a mace or something. It looks like you can just bludgeon someone with it. But yeah, looking at the original art and the figure itself, she might actually become my favorite of the Fall Slender girls. I think the pose I really like. And so I'm actually going to quickly pop up the original illustration, which I have in my photos. So yeah, there are some slight differences. It's mainly, I feel like, with the mouth. In the illustration, she does kind of have a, if I can open it up, okay. It is like a slight, like, grinning expression, like you can see, like, her teeth. In the, actual figure, however, it looks like they made it like an open mouth expression, which is interesting. I mean, it is kind of hard to see from the this photo right here, which is unfortunately the only one on my figure collection. But yeah, again, I really like the Fall Slender girls and their designs, so I'm interested to see her price tag. These tend to maybe slightly go down in the aftermarket or go on sale, so maybe I'll wait for her. We'll have to see when she releases. After that, we have this figure that I thought I'd point out, which I'm definitely not going to pre-order, but the Azure Lane Musashi figure by Alter. And by figure, I mean they just gave us this little standee right here of the unpainted prototype, which looks absolutely insane with just this outfit and how elaborate she looks. Unfortunately, it's just a kind of a blurry photo. I don't know if there's any other better photos of her. But yeah, it looks absolutely crazy. This is going to be like a 60,000 yen figure, maybe even more than that. Just, yeah, the outfit and just the amount of detail looks crazy. So it's kind of based off like this illustration right here, this sort of, the one on the left. But I feel like they added like more to it. Again, I don't play Azure Lane, so I'm not too sure like what exactly it's supposed to, like, this outfit is based off of. If it's like a skin for the character, or if this is how, you know, how she looks, like, you know, original outfit. But it looks crazy. So I don't know if they just couldn't bring the figure to the event with how big it is, and they just settled on the standee. So yeah, that was just something interesting that I saw at the event. After that, we have another Azure Lane figure that I point out, which is the New Jersey 1/7 scale by Alter. I just wanted to point this out for, again, Alter's sculpting. And yeah, the big jacket looks very cool. The hair looks amazing. The pose. I think it's just based off of artwork in the game. And yeah, so unfortunately some people were talking about the rigging, which is like the weapons that these girls have. And sometimes Alter does like a like with the rigging and without the rigging that you can buy. To the original illustration, which looks like this, which, like, yeah, I completely understand why they really wouldn't do that. So yeah, we'll have to see later down the line if they decide to do a version with the rigging or without the rigging. And then we have this one, which surprised me, because I said I wasn't thinking of pre-ordering, but after seeing her, I'm thinking about it now. This is the Fate Grand Order Sei Shonagon Berserker by Alter. I just really love the pose on her, like this dynamic pose where she's on the skateboard with a little swish at the bottom, and she's got the spray paint. Yeah, unfortunately, maybe there's more. If I find any other pictures, I might show it up on screen, because unfortunately there's not. But yeah, I do like the dynamicness once again. They're just not pulling straight from the original Ascension artwork. They're doing a very cool pose for her. Definitely her boobs are like kind of up there in the air. And unfortunately this is gonna have to have the 2 support poles just to keep her up. I'm curious though, you know, with the supports, if maybe she'll have one for her knee as well, considering that she's gonna be kind of like leaning forward a little bit. But yeah, super impressed though with the very dynamic pose. So I'm excited to see her colored, and who knows, I might pick her up depending on the price and also release date, I should say. Second to last figure we have right here is another Alter figure, which is the Arknight's Dusk 1/7 scale. So yes, I really love this character design. I feel like I'm a sucker for dragon girls. And yeah, I think she looks very pretty. I think this is just based off some artwork of her in the game, pose and everything. So yeah, I really like what I see. I like the hair. It feels like it's like, looks like mist or like fog or like smoke in a way. I don't know, that's just the vibe I get from the sculpt. It looks very nice, and the gradient from the black to the green. It's kind of a shame though that this does not have any extra photos. We do have the original artwork as well, which looks stunning. Yeah, like you can kind of see the hair. It just kind of gives off that vibe. But yeah, with actually this character, there was another scale figure I was thinking of picking up that was by Furyu. I'll show it up on screen, where she's got a China dress, because I thought it would look good next to the Chen figure that I have by Apex. But I decided not to pre-order that because December is a crazy month, so I just kind of held off. So yeah, but again, very impressive again from Alter. And now the last figure that we have that finally got a prototype after so long, and that is the Fate Grand Order Anastasia Archer version, or her summer outfit by Kadokawa, which I feel like was in development hell for so long. It just took them a while to get now this prototype. So yeah, based off her, I believe it's first Ascension artwork, and yeah, it looks like the dress is going to be clear. You have her little companion with the shaved ice, which is very cute. Yeah, too bad there's no other pictures. But yeah, I might show up, of course, the original artwork that this is based off on screen. Now again, sometimes I'm like, I wish that Fate figures were not really, you know, they didn't pull from the Ascension artwork, because just some of the poses aren't really the best. But I do kind of like the pose that Anastasia has in that artwork, so it kind of gets a pass for me with pulling straight from the Ascension artwork. And yeah, I do like the hair sculpt, the little sandy beach setting. And the one thing I though feel like is a little bit weird is her face. It just feels a little bit chubby to me. Maybe it looks better at different angles, but from what they're just showing us, it looks a little bit off. So yeah, this is a figure I don't think I'll pre-order in the future, but I am happy for the Anastasia fans that she's finally having a prototype after so long. So yeah, that concludes my list. Definitely a lot of amazing figures that were announced. I'm very excited to see later down the line as, you know, prototypes and painted as well. So yes, before we go to the outro, I'm just gonna list the ones that, were definitely my top highlights, ones that I'm leaning towards pre-ordering in the future, or I'm, definitely gonna. So obviously the Toho illustrations that they showed off look amazing. I'm very excited for those, to see some of them made into prototypes in the future and then colored, because again, the artworks are just stunning. The Hexe figure by QuezQ, again, I don't have many figures from them, but I heard they're pretty good quality, and I'm really liking the way she looks, so thinking about her, we'll just have to see when she releases. I also like the Kusurayuri Mononoke figure. Leaning towards picking him up because I do kind of worry about the aftermarket a little bit, considering the older version of him, but we'll have to see in the future. And then the Sei Shonagon figure definitely surprised me. I didn't think I'd like her as much as I did. Besides obviously the whole support rod thing, I really love the dynamic skateboarding pose that she has. And definitely probably the top highlight for me, because of course I simp for some nice, good male Fate figures, and of course the Senji Muramasa looks amazing. I love the pose, and just chef's kiss on the sculpt, of course, by Alter, so I'm very excited for him to get painted in the future. So that's going to conclude this video. Definitely let me know in the comments what were your personal highlights from this event, because there's definitely some that just really impressed me, so I hope you all were pretty happy with some of these announcements as well. So if you would like to, of course, and you enjoyed this video, feel free to take the time to subscribe to my channel to see what other figure and merch related shenanigans I get into next. So I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are, and take it easy. Goodbye.